I don't know if he was looking to, if he was working with them, but he was often there. And for the first time, he could see real Chinese people. He was so convinced that he was Chinese that I believe that maybe that attract, I don't know how to say that, but I don't know if it was, maybe it was a coincidence. These people start coming in town. But for him to, it was just like, and he was going there just to practice the language that he was studying at school. Now he had people who are really speaking Chinese, real Chinese speakers, not teachers who were giving us basic, giving us basic, the language, not like they were just basic languages, but now he had people who he had to adapt for the year. And then I think, I don't remember, maybe he was working there, but still his siblings were making fun of him. I mean, his mother herself was like, what is wrong with you? The neighbors, he would always, one day, he told them, call me Chinese. I am Chinese. I am Chinese. People were making fun of him, even in high school. What's wrong? You're no longer part. No, he said, I'm Chinese. I told you I'm Chinese. He was talking like that, even though he had no connection with them. I mean, it was mixed, but he had never seen them before. He had never seen his father. He didn't even know who his father was, his name. He didn't know really, because maybe the mom, she just had a nickname, and she gave him the nickname of his father, in Chinese, of course. One day he told to the class, to the classmates of the classmate, that I will be going to China one day. People look at him like, are you serious? How are you going to go to China? This is a child, this is a young man. I talk about teenagers, He was a teenager. This is a young man, a kid, almost, a teenager, who envisioned going to a country that he has never been. He doesn't even know how it looks like. He doesn't know who was his father. He has never traveled all his life. It wasn't like some of us in the classroom who had parents who were paying our trip every summer, our trip to summer. Some of us, few of us will have this to travel, because it was expensive to go on a trip in Europe every summer. Our parents will afford that for us. And you see that sometimes, and that's really made me this question, and I had this discussion with my uncle one day. When you have parents, sometimes it's good to come from family where your parents can do the best they can for you, and your parents give you the best, okay? But it's very different for a person, for example, who grew up in a family, who was raised in a family, who grew up in a family where parents had nothing, like a really hardship, difficult time, financial time. I had this discussion with my uncle, and we realized that sometimes coming from a very poor background is not always bad. Don't take it bad. What I'm going to say. When I talk about a poor background, it's like, sometimes it gives you the desire to fight for more. It gives you a certain mindset to want to succeed. It's different from a child where the parent has given everything to him, which is also important. This is where it's difficult as a parent to know where is the balance of giving everything, or sometimes making the child understand that you must fight. You should, in the future, you will be fighting for. I don't know how to explain that, but it has been proven that children who come from difficult background make it sometimes better than those who grew up in a good family social status. Sometimes, yes, and they really succeed. Okay, that was just a parenthesis. So he never traveled. People like me who were lucky, I will say that, to travel, we never question how it is to have a passport. I mean, since I was a child, I already had a passport. I was traveling with my parents. I never knew it was just like my parents would do everything. I didn't know that it's only later on when I had to leave in my teenager years, I had to live on my own with my sibling, that I had to learn that we had to get visas. But at the time I didn't, because it was given to me by my parents every time. For him, who never had an idea of what it is to travel, to even take a plane, he had to do it on his own. But thinking about going to the unknown, like China, when many of us didn't even think about China. Most of us, we go just to Europe, or some of our classmates, we go to America. Some, not everybody, but usually it was Europe. Few, I mean, really, people were not even thinking about a country like China at the time. Maybe because it was a communist country, I don't know. We have no connection at the time. Yeah, there were embassies, but we never thought about going there. Only it was for diplomacy and stuff like that. And look, this young man who come from a family with a single mom of siblings, who has nothing, thinking about going to China. Imagine what it meant at the time, in the 90s. Okay, in an African country. Imagine what it takes to just envision going there. So he starts saying that he will go to China. I think he was walking to the shop of that Chinese woman. I think so. He was learning, but I don't know how, and I don't know. But one day he told people he would be going to China, and people thought that it was crazy. It was imitating them, walking like them. No, of course, people like us in Africa, we are always limited. Our mindset is always limited in the way, unless you are very smart or you are really open to understand the world outside. But for that, it was people were making fun. Even some teacher were making fun of him, like, why you imitate Chinese people? In his head, he was not Chinese. In his mind, in his head, he was not Chinese. Nobody told him so. He himself decided that he was also Chinese, because actually, yes, he was mixed Chinese. But her father, he has never knew his father. He doesn't know the name of his father, but he knew he was Chinese. And he knew for some reason that his only way to survive in a poor society like we had, a poor country like mine, was to claim his Chinese side. He, later on, we didn't know what he was doing. It's just later on we found out that he went to the embassy. He asked how he could go to China. He went to the Chinese embassy. He asked how to go to China. So he went to the embassy, the Chinese embassy. They saw him. They recognized a part of them in him. Maybe by the way he was dressed, maybe by the way he was walking, maybe by his face. I mean, she's straight, facial, because he was mixed. But remember that the mother was saying every time to him that they don't even know you, they don't even know that you exist. But he aligned his mind. He said that he was Chinese. He aligned everything to make it real that he was Chinese. At the time, I don't know what was the diplomatic agreement with our countries. But I think there were not many people who are going there to think about going there to study. And I think they definitely helped him how to apply for going to school there, because he came a young student just coming like that, asked them that he want to go to China. They told him that he needs to have a passport, and they will give him the visa, and they definitely help him how to get to China. And the school, maybe there was scholarship, I don't know, I really don't know, but he said he wants to go to China, and they definitely help him. He wanted to do the passport. We didn't know all that, okay, we found out later on. He wanted to do his passport on his own, nobody helped him. He wanted to do I think he was talking with the lady at the Chinese people where he was working. And then he went back to the embassy, he had his visa. He was going to China. It's only later on, during the summer, a classmate saw him at the airport. He was pulling his luggage, one luggage. And then he was like, "Where are you going?" He said, "I told you I'll be going to China someday. Now I'm going to China." The classmate was shocked. He was like, "Are you serious? Are you really going to China? You don't even know China." He said, "I don't care, but I told you I'll be going to China. Now I'm going to China." The guy thought that it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke, because in my country, it's a small country with you always see people, you cannot miss them. It's a small country. There's always someone who go to the airport or pick up a parent or drop a parent to the airport. It's a small town, it's not like big cities. So there is always someone who will see you. But when he went there, you cannot lie, because it's easy. You go to the domestic flight, was one side, was on the left, and the international flight was in the center, almost like on the right. So you couldn't lie. You couldn't lie. Yeah, there are people who are lying, but that wasn't a lie. The guy followed him. He saw him entering the door, the place where they were checking the flight ticket and everything. He entered there. He left for China. He left for China. Literally, he left. So a month after, when the school, I think when the school resumed, the teacher was calling the student as usual, because you find the same classmate in the other class. And then what happened? He was calling him, and the classmate said no, he left. Last month he left, during the summer, he left, he went to China. Everybody was shocked. Like, what are you talking about? He left for China? He went to China. Remember, he was telling us that he was Chinese now, that he will be going to China. He went to China. People said, the teacher was like, "No, you are lying." He said, "If I'm lying, go ask the mother." Student went to ask the mom. They was saying, "Yeah, he went to China. He went to China." Just like that. He left us in our jungle. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. He left us in our jungle. He was gone to China. Because he understood that, what am I going to do in Africa? There is nothing here. At least I'm Chinese. I should claim that it can help me. It's going to help me. And he was right, because the same situation that he left, all the same situation that we have been complaining for years, is still happening in 2025. It was gone in the 90s. It was already gone in China. Imagine at the time what it meant. I don't know what happened. We don't know. But I don't know. But with the mindset that he had already on his, when everybody was making fun of him, the determination that he had, the implication, the way he was seeing things, didn't stop him. Even his own mother, who was making fun of him, didn't stop him. He was still thinking that he was Chinese, but that was true. But going to China, that was crazy. He went to China. He went there. I don't know. I think my cousin told me later on that I think she saw him. I mean, way later on in town. I don't know, but I have to ask her again. She said she saw him in town later on. We are already adult, and I think he was doing business in export. It's a lot of money, and his siblings his own siblings who were making fun of him, he took care of them all. The sibling who was laughing that, oh, you think you are a Chinese, he took care of them all. He was the only mixed in all the siblings. The other one were all black and making fun of him. And later on, he came back, he took care of them. The mindset is, I don't know, but that was a lesson for me, a huge lesson for me. And today I see sometimes video of people talking, and you see they were talking how you can change your mindset, how you align things. That guy, he didn't have a life coach. He did it on his own as he was a teenager. That's why I say he didn't have a life coach. He did all this on his own. His capacity, his belief, his faith in him. It takes a strong personality to view yourself differently in an environment where people are all negative. It tells a lot about his capacity. And if I had the mindset of this guy, I truly believe that I would be far, because I have so huge, big dreams when I was a teenager. But I was limited because I limit myself, because it was always, oh, black people don't do that, all these African people don't do that, and this, oh, a woman cannot do that. And for you, if you are listening to me and you are a young person, really, never limit yourself. Sometimes just make your dream happen. That's all I can say. You should dream big. That guy was dreaming big. Going to China at the time, it was crazy. It was crazy. And I truly believe that it could only be successful because his mindset was already strong in an environment where people were poor in the head, poor in mentality. He never gave up.
Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. When you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you. But when it comes to manifesting based on science, I want you to think as manifesting as a bridge. Manifesting is a bridge that's made of bricks between you and the thing that you dream about. And what you do when you manifest is you don't manifest where the bridge is going. You manifest the bricks. Visualization is the bricks. And so what I want you to do when you visualize is you're capable of breaking any pattern. You're capable of getting control of your health. You're capable of launching a business. You're capable of making millions of dollars. You're capable of absolutely anything that you put your mind to. Because I do believe that people who put in the work get rewarded.